Everyone's wondering if it's going to be D&D 5.5 or 6th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Stay tuned. We're going to tell you what it's really going to be in the middle of the video. But Mark, this is a big announcement that a lot of people are talking about. There's probably hundreds of videos made already about what people think. And we wanted to throw our 2 cents in. As you may know, there was an announcement made by Wizards of the Coast about the new edition of Dungeons and Dragons that will be coming out in 2024. So we have some time, to pontificate on this over and over.
Save up your money.
Ad nauseum. But save up your money, all these things. But there's a little bit of apprehension and fear involved in this. What is coming? Is it 5.5? Yeah. Is it a whole brand new edition? So Mark, let's talk about what we would like to see in a new edition of Dungeons & Dragons in 2024, and also acknowledge that our studio is under construction. As you can tell, there's a lot of changes going on here. We have an army of contractors working on our studio as we speak, and expect big changes or very little changes, but we'll see. But either way, we're going to adjust as everything, as we will with the new edition. What would you like to see? What is something we'd like to see?
I'd like to see combat changed a bit to make it more interesting and faster and more streamlined, because honestly, the crazy part about this game is that the most exciting part should be combat is actually the slowest part of the game. It slows things down. At first, it's really cool, but then after a while, you're like, okay, is this battle ever going to end? And so a way to streamline that would make it so much better. So I would hope to see something along those lines in the new edition.
Yeah, I mean, we, like you said, we design our characters, and we can't wait to pick the new spells or now we have 2 attacks or whatever, and then we get to the combat phase of the game, and it kind of slows down. And we've done videos on how to speed things up. There's lots of good ideas out there in the community and other D&D videos. And I'd like to see Wizards of the Coast actually give us options on combat, not just the one that they have set up and say, hey, here's a quicker way to do it, or here's maybe even a more clunkier way if you really want to get specialized or something. I don't know. We'll see. And never mind the Dungeon Cats. They are part of our updated construction phase. So that's good. Combat's definitely something we would like to see them work on.
Yeah, definitely.
I personally, Mark, would like to see a compilation of a lot of the material that we now have. We have our 4 core books, and we know that we're going to be getting 3 more. Our 4 are, of course, the Monster Manual, the Dungeon Master's Guide, the Player's Handbook, and, of course, Wally DM's Journal of Puzzle Encounters. Those are the 4 core books that every Dungeon Master should have. But we're going to get a new set of core books. That's what they've said. Yeah. And we are expecting these to have different changes. But I would like to see a compilation of maybe a lot more of the playable races in the Player's Handbook. Now that we have so many. Maybe a compilation of the spells that have been added over time. Compilation of magic items in the DM's Guide. So compile a lot of the things that they have in all these different books and make them. Now, I don't know if this is feasible, because that may mean really thick player's handbooks. Really thick. Yeah, they're gonna have to charge even more than $50. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible, but I would like to have one source for the different playable races, the different subclasses, and all of those things. So just a wish list for me, but I don't know if it's possible. It maybe needs a Player's Handbook 1 and Player's Handbook 2. I don't know. That's just one thing. And another thing, maybe, it's
specialization. So, like, we've talked about this before, that a lot of the classes have become, with all the different subclasses, they start to become homogenized a bit, where everybody can do everything. So, you know, if you want to be able to heal, you want to be able to throw fireballs and all that, there's subclass in that thing, that the class that you play, that it can allow you to do that, it seems. And that starts to kind of everyone can do everything kind of thing. I would like to see it pull back a bit, where everyone has a little more specialization. So, like, rogues really matter in your group. A fighter really matters. A healer, no one can do better than healing and a cleric, which to some extent we already have that. But I'd like to see that a little more pure and flesh it out. Honestly, my thing is this business of throwing subclasses is kind of a cheap way out of keeping this game relevant. That's just too much. But I'd like to see them more specialized and more interesting. Like fighter, make it more compelling to be a fighter. Just make that work. Ranger, oh my gosh, make a ranger. You know, they've tried different iterations. You know, make it more interesting and something a person want to play. I would start by using that the survey they did a while back of all the different the classes that people like to do on D&D Beyond. They did what are people playing? Start at the bottom and figure out why do people not want to play this class. I think there's a lot to learn from that they need to fix some of those along the way, and this would be an opportunity to do that. So
sure, and we've done videos, and there's a lot of videos out there about how to fix them and how to make them better. But I'd love to see Wizards of the Coast's offering on that, as well as you mentioned the word specialization. Yeah. Special is important. If everyone's special. Then no one is special. Right, and I do like that idea. We've said this before. Yeah. But then again, these are just our opinions. But I do like the idea of it means something that you're the rogue of the party because only you can make something happen that's important to a certain scenario. It gives you your time to shine. Yeah. Now, we've kind of trained ourselves as dungeon masters to provide that for the players and to make that happen. But it does do well to have the classes themselves be able to shine in their own way in different parts of the game. And it originally, I think it came out that way, but now that we've had so many subclasses, the power creep has kind of come up. Everybody can do everything. So that's right. But that's what we would like, and this is just a short, quick reaction of things we would like. We'll probably come up with a lot more in the future. But what do we think we're going to get?
I think what makes the best sense is an advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Another, we've had that in the past, and to come out with something that's the next level, the next step. There seems to be a fall off. A lot of people get to a certain level in the game and they just stop playing it because there's no fun anymore. Well, there's not enough content. If you go to level 20, what do you do after that? So, given some ways to kind of fix some of that. Yeah, that end game, which honestly, if you look at games like Destiny 2, if you look at World of Warcraft back in the day, people race to get to the end game because that's where you got to do the cool stuff. You get to go
your capstone ability.
You get to finally use that capstone ability. So now there's some meaning toward that end game. So the idea of having advanced Dungeons and Dragons from a marketing standpoint makes a lot of sense, because then people look at it and go, I want to play that. I have a reason to go out and buy those books, rather than, well, I got my 5th edition. I've got all those Volos. I've got all this stuff. I have all the content more or less already. Why would I need to go back and get books? But if you're telling people they get to play Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I think that makes a lot more sense.
Well, we all know what rules the game. And the game is healthy. It's doing well. More people than ever are playing it right now, and people are still coming into it. Yep. But by 2024, of course, we had predicted that, and a lot of others have said that would be the year they would do something. It's their 50th anniversary of D&D, and we knew something would be coming. Sure. And I think you're right on. I think an advanced edition, or calling it something like that, or anniversary editions, whatever, will encourage people to buy the new books and see what all the hubbub is about and all that. So I think you're right. And getting high-level play, which has been broken at this point, and maybe fixing that, or providing options for dungeon masters to give adventures for high level play even beyond level 20. That's out of the box thinking, and I think something that people would welcome and be jumping on. I do feel they will compile some of the things. Sure. The things that I want on my wish list, maybe not everything, it'd be really thick book again, but I do feel that they'll have a better idea of these are the playable races. They'll have a bigger list of that. It's not that hard to do. Right. And then also, subclasses and that kind of thing. I also think that we're going to get more options. Yeah. And options, that's what we're hoping for. And I feel that we will be given some options. Maybe not everything we want, but options on the way the rules are set as far as combat. I'm sure they're going to have to give us a different option on combat. And maybe options on scaling the game up or down depending on the people who are playing. So we do videos on scaling the game down so you can play with a younger audience. It'd be nice, again, for Wizards of the Coast to give you that option as well. Ours is going to be pretty good, but we'll see what they come up with. I mean, they can pay us later if they want to.
Well, honestly, I think they've missed the mark when it comes to the minimum age to play. If you look on the starter kit, it says 12 and up. Do they really think that kids below 12 can't play this game? I have learned from firsthand experience that is not the truth.
And that's why we do the videos we do about that.
Exactly. There is a niche there, and if you're listening, Wizards, there is an area, there is a niche that you could really tap into. Because think about it, when you play Call of Duty, There are 5-year-olds on there that are just, I know because they annihilate me.
Yeah.
You know? These 5-year-olds
destroy me in
are
Fortnite.
killing it. So
Yeah.
they can handle, they can create characters, they can do what they do on there.
Right.
They can handle Dungeons and Dragons, and I've seen it, and they have that imagination. It's a natural step for them to go into role play and all. So that's an area that they definitely could target, and I would do that. Maybe in like you say in the DMG, the new DMG,
The new
they would have
Dungeon Master's
something
Guide,
there.
right?
Yeah,
I
so
agree.
way to do that.
And then all of the Dungeon Masters can use Wally's DM's personal journal of puzzle encounters. So that'll be awesome.
Absolutely.
So I think the bottom line is that one of the things that we were initially talking about was we, meaning you, the viewer, us, the creators, anyone who's involved in Dungeons and Dragons has an opportunity now to affect what we get.
Yep.
Because it's still 3.5 years away at least, and they're still deciding, making decisions on what are these options they're going to give us, what are the rule sets they want to provide, what are the compilations. We can get with them, whether it's through our social media outputs, whether it's through directly emailing them, or simply taking those, like you said, the play testing that they're going to give us, and all their survey. Excuse me. Whether it's taking the play testing, I do get emotional. So, but the play testing that you can do, and then give them feedback, or the surveys, and definitely taking those surveys and providing honest feedback. We have an ability to affect the game in the way that we would like to see it done. And some of the things that we would want. So I would encourage everyone watching this video to spread the word that this is the time now to let Wizards of the Coast know what you want to see in the next version of Dungeons and Dragons, or their 50th anniversary, whatever they want to call it. We think it'll be Advanced D&D, but whatever it may be. Let us know in the comments some of your thoughts on this. We know there's a lot of talk about it. There's going to be a lot more. We'll do more videos on this as we start to specify some of the things we'd really like to see. And let us know some of your thoughts, because we'd like to go back and forth with you on those, and maybe we can use those in a future video. And with that, class dismissed. Comes through. Don't worry about the cat here. I'm sorry about the... I'm going to put him down. So... that's our Dungeon Cats. They're part of the program.
Don't
worry about the cat.
A medical emergency.
Give it.
It's all good.
No, it's just a hairball.